so much.
Hey guys, Mckenna here. Welcome to a new video here on the channel, HolographicRainbows. So today I'm going to be doing a review on the new live-action Beauty and the Beast movie because I saw this movie yesterday, even though it's probably going to be uploaded on Sunday, but I saw this movie on Friday, March 17th, opening day. It was like the best Disney movie I have seen in literally years, okay? I mean, like Moana was like really good as well. But this just kind of like blew me away. Like, Disney, thank you. I love you so much. So this video is probably going to be really long. I mean, you can probably already tell what the length is. But my guess is that it's going to be probably 15 to 20 minutes long. And I'll try to keep it short, but honestly, there is so much to talk about this movie. Like, okay, I made this list about everything there is to talk about. And each of these is like at least a 5-minute conversation, so I'm gonna have to cut some of these short. First thing first, spoilers. There will be spoilers. So if you want to see the live action version and don't want any spoilers, because there are some things that are different from the animated version, so if you don't want any spoilers for the live action remake, then definitely just watch this video after you've seen that. First of all, LeFou. Oh my gosh, LeFou was like the best part of the movie, gonna be honest. So if you didn't know, this was, I think, the first movie of Disney's. I'm not exactly sure, but this is one of the first movies that Disney has made featuring a gay character in it, which I think is just awesome. I mean, it's 2017. Just get over it, people. Who someone else chooses to love doesn't affect you in any way, so just accept it and move on. So I think LeFou's character, played by Josh Gad, I don't know how it's pronounced. It's the guy who played Olaf in Frozen. He was just like the best actor for it, gonna be honest. I thought his lines were just really funny. And in the song Gaston, where he like goes to spell out Gaston's name but only gets to G-A-S-T and then doesn't know how to spell the rest, I just thought that was awesome. And it was just like so funny. I loved his character overall. And for the next part, I'm just going to talk about songs. So the next probably like 10 minutes is just going to be about songs and everything about the songs, because the soundtrack for this movie was amazing. Literally the best soundtrack since the last Disney movie, Moana. Like, I thought the Moana soundtrack was amazing, and the Moana soundtrack was amazing for an original movie. These songs were just, oh my gosh. So I'm going to be talking about song by song in order. I'm not going to be talking about every song though, because that will take a really long time. So the first song I'm going to be talking about is kind of like the opening song where we meet Belle, and that is Belle, the song. And this song, I just thought it was really well done by Emma Watson, and it was like a tiny bit different from the original, and I really love the original version of Belle from the animated version, but this version, it was just like, it was a little bit better. She had her like accent in it, which I loved. I thought the accent was really nice, even though it wasn't as much as a French accent as I would have liked it to be, since they do mention that the movie, it is in France. Yeah, so that movie was awesome, and I love how in the reprise version of that, where she's singing about how Gaston wants her to be her wife, she actually puts like the little towel thing over her head to be like a little bonnet, I don't know what they're called, just like in the animated version. I really liked that. So the song Gaston, I don't know if this was like intentional or not. Maybe it was just because where I was sitting in the theater, but I felt like the audio for this song was kind of off. I felt like the background music was way too loud than it should have been, and personally I couldn't understand most of the words in this song. I couldn't really hear what LeFou and Gaston were singing about. Like, I kind of knew the words from like the animated version, obviously, because I watched the animated version like a week before I saw this movie, but still I felt the audio was a bit off, so that kind of ruined that song for me in the theater. But when I watched it on YouTube, like the audio version, after I saw it, the audio was fine, it was great. So I think it might just have been a problem with where I was sitting in the theater, because I was sitting in the very back. So maybe just not all of the sound got to where I was sitting. Now, the thing I was probably the most disappointed with this entire movie was that they didn't release the orchestramental version of Beauty and the Beast, or Tale as Old as Time, as I call it. Basically, in one of the trailers, they had Tale as Old as Time by Ariana Grande and John Legend playing in the background, and then they had like an orchestra in the background of that song. And everybody was super pumped for that song, but then they released the music video for the actual song and there was no orchestra in the background, which a lot of people got mad about, and everybody was making these petitions, and gonna be honest, I signed one of the petitions myself for Disney to release that. And if you guys want to listen to the orchestramental version, the link will be in the description because it is the most magical song you will ever hear, okay? Like, Disney, please just release the orchestramental version. You will make all of your fans happy. And at the end of the movie, like, I made my mom stay to the very end of the credits, like the very end, because I'm like, Mom, they might play the orchestramental version. Just, I have to listen to the full orchestramental version. It is my dream in life, okay? But sadly, they did not release that version, which sucks. Be Our Guest was a really good song. I didn't really like the piano in the beginning of the song, but then when I got through the song, I really loved it. Like, the animation for that song was just like, oh my gosh, the best. I just really loved, like, Lumiere and everything, and I just want to say that in the original Beauty and the Beast animated version, in that song, they say 10 years we've been rusting, I think, or 10 years, I don't know. 10 years we've been dusting or rusting, I don't know, but Lumiere says like 10 years they've been there. Even though in the beginning it says on the 21st year of the curse can no longer be broken, and it's nearing the end of the curse, therefore it being like the 21st year or 20th year, somewhere around there. But then that line in the original song kind of contradicted all of that. But instead of this version of Be Our Guest, Lumiere says too long instead of 10 years. So I noticed that on the first time. I was like, wait a second, he said 10 years in the original. So that was just a little cool thing I wanted to throw in. Now, Evermore, oh my gosh, that song was so unexpected to me. Now, this is like the Beast's solo song. He sings it after Belle goes off to rescue her father, and I loved this song. Oh my gosh. So the Dan Stevens, I think that's his name, the Dan Stevens version was good. That's a song that's sung by the actor who plays the Beast / Prince Adam, and that's the song that's in like the movie, and that was like a good version. I liked it. I really wasn't expecting it when I was watching the movie. I'm like, oh wait, because that song was not in the original. But then I listened to the Josh Groban version after watching the movie, and I was just like, this literally sounds like a classic Disney song, and I love classic Disney songs. Like, they're just so good. Now, don't get me wrong, I still love modern Disney songs, but I feel like some of them are just like a little too modernized, you know, like Frozen, Moana. It's just, it doesn't have the same feel as those classic Disney songs. So I felt like Evermore, especially the one sung by Josh Groban, but also the regular version in the movie, just felt so classical and so classic Disney, and I really loved that aspect about it. Oh my gosh, I've already been recording for like 10 minutes and I am not half through what I want to talk about. So besides from the music, I just want to talk about how I loved how we got to see Belle's mother. Like, we finally got to learn what happened to Belle's mother, which was her getting the plague. And about a week before I watched this movie, I watched A Theory by Super Carlin Brothers, which is a channel that specializes in Disney and Pixar, and I really love Disney and Pixar, so obviously I watched their videos. And they did this theory about what happened to Belle's mother and, you know, who she is, and they kind of theorized, or one of their theories was that she was the Enchantress. And at the end of the movie, when I saw like the Enchantress, like she came back, I really also loved that aspect, how we actually got to see the Enchantress as a character and not just in sort of the prologue, is that what it's called, like what happened to the prince in the beginning of the movie. We also got to see her at the end, which I really loved. Like, she's kind of the one that says, okay, Beast, you learned your lesson, you can be human again. Like, I love how she did that. Well, in the animated version, it just sort of happened and the Enchantress wasn't even there. But we got to see the Enchantress, and at the end I was like, oh my gosh, please be Belle's mother, please be Belle's mother, because she was kind of like looking at Maurice, and I'm like, please, 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 because I really wanted that theory to be true for some reason. But nevertheless, I really loved how we got to see Belle's mother, because in the original we didn't even get to see her at all. So I just love that. And in Disney World or Disneyland, I'm not sure which one, but they actually do have a picture of young Belle and her mother in one of the rooms, or I think it's one of the rides or castles, or I don't even know, but they have a picture of Belle and her mother. In the movie, Maurice was actually painting that picture, which I loved, and that was just awesome. Another thing I wanted to point out is that how Maestro, the piano character, was not actually in the original Beauty and the Beast movie, but it was in the Beauty and the Beast Christmas special movie, which I owned on VHS tape. So I knew that movie off by heart. And when I saw that there was a piano named Maestro, I was like, wait, that is not in the original movie, that doesn't come in until the Christmas special. So I just thought that was kind of a cool maybe Easter egg, how that wasn't even supposed to be in the original, but it was in the Christmas special. And yeah, I mean, in the Christmas special he's an organ and not a piano, but his name was still Maestro in the animated version of the Christmas special, so yeah, it still kind of works. Now, about the casting, I wasn't exactly sure about Emma Watson when I first heard she was going to be playing Belle, but that's probably because I'm just so used to Emily de Raven playing Belle from Once Upon a Time. But I actually got used to the fact that Emma was playing her, and seeing her in the movie, she did an amazing job. She was just really fit for the role, and again, I didn't particularly like how she did the English accent. I think it should have been more French, but it was still awesome. More about the cast, I wasn't particularly fond of who they chose to play the Beast, but it was still really good, and I really loved how they had a really colorful cast. Like, you know, it was people from all different like backgrounds and skin colors, which I really loved. Example, the feather duster who ends up with Lumiere, like you don't really think about what their skin color is, but then you see them and you're like, oh my gosh, that's awesome, they have a different skin color other than white. Like, that is amazing. Now, when I first saw the trailer for this movie, I thought the animation for the objects was a little creepy. Not the animation, but just how they were designed. I thought it was a little creepy. But after seeing the movie, it was amazing animation. I love how they animated like the castle, and just the animated shots in general were so good, and I thought like the Beast and everything was just so well animated. Like, there were points when I just couldn't even tell it was animated. Like, it just looked that real. One scene that I really loved in particular was Belle teaching the young girl to read a book, and you know, there's the man who passes by and is just like,
we already have one girl in the village who can read, we don't need another.
Because, you know, back then, women weren't really allowed to read or write. Like, they didn't even know to read or write, which I think is just bizarre, because in today's age, it's like if you go to school, no matter your gender, you get to learn to read or write. Or at least where I live, I know in some parts of the world it is different, but I hope that one day everybody can just learn to read and write, no matter their race or gender or religion. Did I really just cover everything on my list? Dude, I literally just covered everything on my list in like 15 minutes. That is amazing. What else do I even have to talk about? I feel like I had way more to talk about this movie. Overall, I thought this movie was just amazing. I love how Disney played it out. Like, props to you, Disney. Like, that was just amazing. I thought it was an amazing remake of the original. And I do love both versions of the movie, but I gotta say, I really love this live action remake. It is just, And, you know, like, the only part I don't really like is the Ariana Grande and John Legend version of, you know, Beauty and the Beast, Tale as Old as Time. Now, a lot of people are complaining about that, not only because of the orchestral version not being released, but also because Ariana just, she kind of just threw in a lot of oohs and ahs in, and they don't really fit in with the song. which I kind of agree with. Like, I personally don't really like all of the oohs and ahs she threw in. Like, okay, add in like maybe one or two, but she threw in one literally every break there was. Like, okay, we get it, you're a good singer. Stop making us jealous. But this review isn't really about that. It's about the movie, and the movie, I want to see it again so badly. Now, I really enjoyed seeing this movie because the theater that I went to, they have like these recliner seats that go like all the way back, and when you're walking through the aisles, nobody has to stand up. That's how large the aisles are, the theater I went to. Like, we reserved our seats like a week in advance, so we got like top row, middle seats. It was amazing, and we even snuck in famoso pizza. Yes, please. Vegan cheese on pizza is just So that is all for my review on Disney's live-action 2017 version of Beauty and the Beast. I thought it was like 11 out of 10, probably 12 out of 10, probably 20 out of 10, guys. It is such a good movie. If you have not seen it yet, I highly recommend you watch it. And I really hope this movie does get released to Netflix, just like the Cinderella live-action remake did, because I just want to watch this movie like 10 more times because it is just that great of a movie. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and tell me down below if you have seen the Beauty and the Beast live action remake, if you like the remake or the original better. And just tell me what you thought of the movie, and if you haven't seen it, tell me if you were excited for it, if you liked the trailers, if you were going to go see it. Just tell me anything down below, guys. Like, I shouldn't have to tell you to comment because it should just come naturally and I don't understand. All my social media is linked down below, so if you are interested in me, make sure you follow those. I have some pretty interesting musicals posted recently. Kind of embarrassing in a way, but no shame, be who you are, and love yourself. That's what Justin Bieber said. I will see you guys next week. Peace out, I love you all. Bye!
Cells, they're made of organelles. Try to pull a fast when the cytoplasm gels. The nucleus takes over, controlling everything. The party don't stop till the membrane box is seen. Inside the